With us now to discuss Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace from South Carolina, also South Carolina gubernatorial candidate. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you being here in studio with us. Do you see this as a check really on executive authority or a setback for U.S. leverage in negotiations?
Well, what the Supreme Court decided yesterday is the power of the purse comes from Congress. But the president is right. He does have certain authorities under certain sections, whether it's Section 302, 122, 232. He can utilize tariffs in certain situations, which he's doing that now, and we'll see him, I believe, go forward and utilize those provisions that he is permitted to do. So it was a check and balance. It was constitutional, the ruling yesterday, and, just redefines how tariffs can be utilized either by Congress or by the executive branch.
Do you think it weakens our stance as we go into these high-stake talks with China?
I don't think so. I mean, he still has the ability to negotiate. We still have Congress, and we do have a Republican majority, at least for now, to be able to come back to this and utilize tariffs through Congress, through the power of the purse. So I believe the Speaker, Mike Johnson, has stated we're going to review our provisions and our ability to utilize tariffs on behalf of the country as well. But, he's doing this the right way. I mean, China's a threat to the United States, and I think everything should be on the table.
Yeah, and speaking of that, you have supported strong trade policies in the past. Do you think that the White House went too far in using this executive power this time?
I don't think so. And I think that at least the Supreme Court just defined this is what is permitted, this is not. This was, I think, educational for a lot of people as well, and what the president and White House is able to do, what Congress, the power of Congress, too. And I think you'll see more collaboration between the two branches to make sure that his agenda is fulfilled.
Okay. The courts did not give specific instructions on tariff refunds, but it's estimated to be about $175 billion. Right. So he said the government could be stuck in court, and he says for years. Let's listen to exactly what he says.
We've taken in hundreds of billions of dollars, not millions, hundreds of billions of dollars. And so I said, well, what happens to all the money that we took in? It wasn't discussed. Wouldn't you think they would have put one sentence in there saying that keep the money or don't keep the money, right? I guess it has to get litigated for the next 2 years.
Are you saying that you don't plan to honor refunds for companies that file for them?
I just told you the answer, right? I told you the answer. It's not discussed. We'll end up being in court for the next 5 years.
Okay, so will Congress have to step in on refunds given to the president's, or given his reluctance to doing so?
Well, he may not be able to do so. I mean, the court didn't rule on it. He is right. The court didn't rule. It probably will be held up in a suit or in court for the next couple or several years. I mean, there's a lot of money on the table here, and I think he'll, as he's done before, be judicious about it, thoughtful about it, how they move next. But that is the biggest question right now: is what happens to the hundreds of billions of dollars that has been collected.
Right. It's not easy to just stroke a check like that. Okay. The president also invoked his authority under what we know as Section 122 to issue a global 10% tariff. But this will only last for 150 days, we know, and then it will need to be reviewed by Congress in order to be extended. Will you approve an extension on these tariffs?
I think he could do up to 15%. He chose 10. I'm going to need to read the contours of what it looks like and what it's for and why. I won't just make a decision on the fly. I'm going to want to dive into the details, as I always do when it comes to economic policy.
Okay. So if it were 15, how would you feel about that?
Well, it just depends on how we're using it and what it's for. Like, the devil's always in the details, and I'll make the right decision for the country once he lays out what he's doing and why he's doing and how we're going to do it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.